Well, here the multimedia group, we launched the classroom project. And this afternoon, over a year ago, as a solution to two of the hundreds of weak school structures dotted across the country, the first project situated at Breman Jamira in the Sekuma Odobin Brakwa district of the Central Region is currently at the roofing stage and requires more funds for completion. The second is in the northern region. Over 700 school children will benefit from that project when completed. My colleague Richard Kwejonyaku visited the Breman Jamra Basic School sites this morning and has sent in this report.
Under safe environment, under safe conditions. So the students are currently on break. We want to chat with a few of the students to gauge what and how they feel when it rains. What's your name? Your name is what? So which class are you?
Form 1.
Form 1. So tell me about this building. How does it feel studying in this classroom? The classroom na ewa hade say esua za oyeden.
Esua de
Enye, adenti na enye.
Say dan ye papa.
Enye papa. Adenti den na wo hu a office dan na enye papa. Okay. So it's the students want to tell us a lot more. So let me engage more of the school peoples. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
My name is Richard Nyaku.
Richard Nyaku. Oh, my namesake. You know my name is Richard Nyaku as well. Okay. So which class are you?
Form 2.
Form 2. Okay, so tell me about this building you currently study in. I mean, when it rains, what happens?
But say a dining
A dining him. I didn't see a dining him.
say na say in Suba. But say in Suna Elta na a dining shake.
Sir. Okay, inti se basa na den na moye.
Yeah, do I wanna say in Suna no ya diana ya pop. Ya kwe. Ti say in Suna tia na ya san swaba.
So we hu there wori sidan foforo bi wa hade. What share said wori sidan and oye hum den. Oye wonder. Na sisi edan wo nwie nti eba asem na ebeka ma edan wo ewie sisi ase nsuta edan hihim nsu no so obo hon classroom.
Acha me catch obi answer. Obi acho obi obetu abo bia. Omba yen see school down for.
So this is one of the pupils in this classroom. Let's move to the projects that we are talking about, the new project that has reached the roofing level. So this is it. They have provided some kind of materials, but I mean, the strength is not enough to complete the entire thing. And that is why I am here. I am appealing to you. It's my project. It's your project. We do not want to wait any longer for other lives to be perished in the name of accessing education. Let me speak with the engineer that is overseeing the construction of this building. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
So, what
to be able to complete the roofing, because as you can see, the roof members already have started coming on top, but we don't have enough wood to do that. And with the roofing, you're supposed to do all at a go because of balancing. So we can't say we are doing it in bits. It's not safe. It wouldn't augur well for the structure. So what we are appealing is that we need just support to be able to complete the roof.
How much are we talking about here?
The budget is close to about, let me say, 60,000 Ghana cedi. Talk about the roof and then the ceiling joints, the windows and the doors.
Yes. 60,000 Ghana
just
cedis
to complete this whole structure. In maximum, when we have this funds, maximum 2 weeks, we should be able to finish this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is the engineer of this project telling me that we need 60,000 Ghana cedis in order to complete this current project so that the children could move in and study in some good environment like their peers in the city. And so I'm appealing to the general public to help us out. 60,000 Ghana cedis to enable us complete this project. Could you?
For support to complete the classroom project, send your donations to MTN Momo number 0593038832. The account name is a Multimedia Group Limited, and for bank transfers, please send to Access Bank Ghana Limited. The account number is 0090101054191, Castle Road Branch, Accra, and the branch code is 009, and the SWIFT code is ABNGGHAC. You may also call 0242161570 for more enquiries. The Classroom Project, promoting social justice through philanthropy. There's also a Momo number, which is on your screens, that you can send in your contribution. Well, reacting to the poor state of school infrastructure in the country, the Executive Director for the Institute of Education Studies, Dr. Peter Anti, says what Ghana is witnessing is a result of the lack of plan to deal with the infrastructure deficit at the basic school level. He believes the country's education system is not designed in a way to solve challenges. He charged the Education Ministry to outline its plan of dealing with the infrastructure deficit.
Let me be frank with you. I used to believe that we will not be able to do much about the state of infrastructure in our basic schools. I used to believe that until about 4 or 5 years ago, when I had opportunity to start working with the MS data on the MS data, and I have delved into that data for the past 4 years. Now, if anybody tells you that the ministry or any official is not aware of the state of our education infrastructure across the country, that person is not telling you the truth. Because every year we collect a lot of data on school infrastructure, and of course, my specialty is in education infrastructure, so I understand the terrain very well. We collect a lot of data on school infrastructure. That data is a school-based data. What that means is that every year we know the number of desks in each classroom in every basic school in this country. Every year we know the number of teachers, we know the number of desks, we know the state of our buildings. So by a click of a button, we know whatever is going on in every basic school in terms of infrastructure in this country. And that data is collected every year. That's what they call the annual school census survey. Now, what pragmatic steps have you put in place to ensure that this district, this is the nature of infrastructure in that particular district? And of course, if you look at the literature now, infrastructure does not necessarily mean the state of a school building. It goes beyond that. It looks into the human resource base in that particular school. It looks into what we call operational equipment, and like access road, electricity, because we are doing ICT. So electricity, water, places of convenience, and so on and so forth. And these things I'm talking about, or these variables I'm looking at, are all captured every year and then sent to the Ministry of Education. So if you still have schools that are in such deplorable state, if you have district directors that are complaining about the lack of chairs and the lack of desks and the lack of teachers in a particular school, what it simply means is that our system have not been designed to solve these basic problems in our basic school system. That is what it means. And because the system has not been designed to solve these basic problems, we will continue to have these challenges.
Dr. Anti has meanwhile commended the Multimedia Group for embarking on the classroom project. He says that's the way to go and urged others to follow suit. Now, the PRO of the Education Ministry, Kwesi Kwarteng, says the ministry has implemented projects to help solve the challenges at the basic level. He says the third tranche of the Get Fund securitized loan will be used to improve infrastructure at the basic level.
challenges that are confronted within the education sector, being it challenges of access, being it challenges that has to do with the quality component, all has been systemic. It is not as though probably it came just yesterday or last year or last 2 years, but of course, I mean, the beauty of leadership is to embrace those challenges and to be able to address them. But of course, before I proceed to even talk about some of the interventions that under the leadership of the Minister, Dr. Aisha, which we've been able to profess, I would just like us to situate the conversation in a very proper perspective or context. And what is that proper perspective? You see, when you see some of these buildings, of course, I mean, I think the general classification is schools under trees. Averagely, we have an excess of 5,000 of them that we are confronted with as a country within our education space. It is not a situation as though maybe government intentionally created those schools and abandoned them. If you look at the history of these schools, a lot of times what happens is that you may get a philanthropist who will go into a community, start meeting the children, start engaging them, and then out of that, a school develops. Sometimes you may have the community leadership who may say that, well, the only school available to us is quite far, so let us set up a school under a tree. And you are having cumulatively an excess of 5,000 of these ones. Of course, as leadership, you have to absorb these schools and intervene and then resolve or transform these schools. And that is what we have been doing as leadership. So yes, there has been some level of interventions, not only at the basic level, even proceeding to the secondary, at the tertiary level. At every point there is infrastructure. But I wanted to open the conversation wide so that we appreciate that, yes, indeed, there have been some interventions. Of course, if you look at the data that I shared with your sister, JoyNews, for instance, in the morning, averagely, even from the Ministry of Education, we have been able to tackle about over 887 projects in terms of infrastructure at the basic space. In terms of furniture, because if you see this case, I mean, the video that you are showing, they are not sitting on any furniture. But clearly, if you look at the statistics that we have on furniture distribution, for instance, between 2020 and 2021, for instance, dual decks alone, we sent almost 70,000 of these dual decks across the country. So what it means is that there is a systemic problem or systemic challenge that we are addressing as a country. The solution to this challenge obviously will not be an event. It's a process. It's not going to take a day. But I mean, as a leadership, we admit that responsibility that we are tackling it head on. It's the more reason why we have organizations like Valco Trust Foundation, who has also taken up the mandate to also reform some of these schools under trees. But of course, I mean, the principle should be set right, that it is not as though it's a creation of government that has been neglected. Most of the times you'll be there. A lot of these schools, it's even interesting to know that it's even possible that they may not necessarily be recognized by the Ghana Education System. But largely, I admit that a lot of them are also recognized by the Ghana Education Service. Because
because you have teachers there. And again, you have said that it's sort of systemic. So if we know it's systemic, what interventions are we putting in place to ensure that we are able to correct that challenge that we have identified to be the cause of this?
He spoke with my colleague, Kojobris, earlier. Now, for the Executive Director for the Institute of Education Studies, Dr. Peter Anti, he says initiatives such as the one taken by the Multimedia Group on the Classroom Project is the way to go in helping fix the education infrastructure deficit in Ghana.
What multimedia is doing is the way to go. We need other people, because sometimes government feels that they are not interested in doing some of these things. We need private individuals to also step in, NGOs, donor organizations and other things, to also step in and help provide the needed infrastructure for our schools. But we need to let government understand that there is a responsibility to provide quality education for our children. And if you're able to make the public school system, the basic public school system very, very good, nobody will be struggling to take their world to the private school system.
The minority in Parliament is warning of a potential halt in major road construction projects across the country over government's inability to pay contractors. The Association of Road Contractors Ghana has been in the news recently demanding government to pay them arrears amounting to over 10 billion cedis. Reacting to the demands of the contractors, ranking member on the Roads Committee in Parliament, Governs Kwame Agboja, said government's continuous capping of the road fund levy must be blamed for the non-payments. He also warns of a potential halt in roads under construction across the country.
The fact is that road work is a capital-intensive project. If you don't have money to buy diesel, what are you going to do on the side? If you don't have money to buy materials, cement and other things. So it's a very big problem. We should be bracing ourselves for more of the contractors to stop work. In fact, including donor-funded projects, because some of these projects are funded with loans of which the finance minister's current debt restructuring would affect. So some of those contractors would automatically leave site. I am also aware of contractors laying off people in thousands because they simply can't pay them. They are not being wicked. The point is that when people work, you must pay them. And once government doesn't pay them, they can't pay them. What can we do? Government must prioritize. You see, when you have a situation where your 2022 outlook and other things have been bad, you haven't paid contractors and things, and you want to spend more on useless government special initiative projects, cut those things, cut down the size of government, and save some money to do things that Ghanaians matter to Ghanaians. Yes, roads matter to Ghanaians, but it costs money. Even the most patriotic Ghanaian contractor needs the money to buy materials, pay workers, buy equipment, and to do the works. Sadly, that is not what we are saying. To make it worse, when you see the 2020, from 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023, you see that consistently, this particular finance minister have been taking money away from the road fund. In the 2023 budget, he's basically going to give them less than half of what the road fund will accrue, which is about 2.5 billion. He's projecting to give them 1.2 billion. I'm not saying that another 1.5 billion will solve the problem. But imagine if 1.5 billion is available to the road ministry today, it would have paid some. Guess what? They are asking Fidelity and others to pay 300 million. Meanwhile, you have your own money. You will see a situation where those who are doing donor-funded projects, if it is not affected by the debt restructuring, they may somehow go on. If it's affected by the debt restructuring, you may see the contractors go off-site because they will not be paid. So they are not, how do you call it, NGOs. They will stop. With the GOG, you see, in fact, we are already seeing significant drop in activity on many of the sites. Many of the road contractors are not on site because they just can't fund the cost of the project, materials, diesel, equipment, labor. They just can't fund it. Of course, our situation, the situation on our roads are going to be worse.
Meanwhile, the majority objects the claim, saying there is money to continue all projects. Kennedy Nyakwonse is chairman of the Roads and Transport Committee in Parliament.
Government is saddled with a lot of financial commitment and challenges. So sometimes what we expect to get might not necessarily be what government is going to pay, but government's showing commitment that yes, I want to clear. But I'm happy that in 2023 budget, government has, programmed 14.3 billion to clear arrears. And that is what my focus is. How is government going to get these arrears cleared? For capital expenditure, all is coming from ABFE. It's not coming from GOG. ABFA is money that comes from the oil money. It's the annual budget funding amount which comes from the oil money. So these are money that government can easily lay its hands on and pay contractors. And about 2.2 billion which have been programmed under ABFE.
Joining us live to assess the impact of not constructing roads this year is Engineer Mahama. He is a road consultant. He joins us via Zoom. I'm grateful for your time, sir. First, let's look at how bad our roads are looking right now and the dangers it poses to our economy and our general well-being as a country.
I'll say good afternoon to your cherished viewers. I think some road construction is ongoing. In the capital, we have massive roads underway. The Obeche-Belamte, the Nungua section, the Afenya area, the one they are trying to start from Nego Pram areas, the Ofanko and Sawam and the Ashanti region. I've seen quite an extensive road outlay or map. Some of them have actually started constructing, others are at the later stage of the design process. And all in all, I think generally I cannot run down the year of roads mantra where I've seen some huge construction, capital intensive construction ongoing within the country. And so if we are being told that some of these roads may have to suffer because of non-payment, I think in December we were briefed by the minister that they were going to do some massive payment to contractors. As we speak, I've not heard about the payment yet. And I know that maybe in a few weeks to come, possibly those some of the outstanding arrears owed last year may be addressed. But if that is not done, in the just approved budget, we were told that the toll booth levy was supposed to come back, and it's not going to be the same 50 pesos, 1 cedi that we're paying for the saloon cars and the SUVs, but we'll try to go up a bit to actually be on the same page with the people, our neighbors. And I couldn't agree more with what the minister said, because I've been lamenting over the years that the average toll that Burkina Faso, our neighbors, Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria pay is about 5 cedis per the saloon cars we have in Ghana, where we are paying 50 pesos. That's about 95% less than what our neighboring countries are actually charging for the small vehicles. And others go beyond 220 Ghana cedis as they move up with the light duty trucks and the heavy duty trucks. So we need to get to the realization that if we have to get to that stage where we were paying that kind of actual amount as compared to our neighbors, then we have to be transparent. We have to get people who are going to man these areas to be accountable, so that we will not be here and then we'll hear that we have paid X amount of money, and that X amount of money that is supposed to be accrued for the toll, about 60% of them cannot be accounted. That will not be something that the Ghanaian motorists will be happy to hear. So in as much as that has been actually found its way into the budget, I've been stating over the years that it was an unpopular decision to scrap up the toll, because we need every coin at this stage of our lives to be able to upgrade the roads that we have in the country. And I don't want to be specific, but a kilometer of a dualized road, double lane in and out, as of last year, it was covering around 3.6 million United States dollars. That's asphaltic binder concrete. And if you look at how much we are getting from our toll, the motorway, the Sapema one, the Kumasi, the Takrady ones, there was nothing to write home about. But this is what I think that government has to meet, or we have to meet government halfway in trying to actually add some few other things to the ABFA, the money coming from the oil fund, and other source of funding to be able to buy the petrol that we all buy. There's some road fund which is there to be able to augment the one that will come directly from other taxes being generated by government, so that the roads, once the roads are actually completed, automatically it raises the value of anything around the corridors of the road. I've been in the system for like 20 years.
But as we're hearing, it may not be completed as we expect.
What will not be completed?
The roads that you talk about.
No, these roads are not 1 year. They are not annual roads. They are 3 years, 4 years, 5-year road construction.
But all works may be halted if the contractors are not paid. That's the essence of the conversation.
There are conditions that brings about total stoppage of projects. The contractors are supposed to be within a certain financial standing, so that within the time that government is finding difficult in paying, the contractors may have to continue with the work to a certain duration. Now, the contractor will invoke a clause in the contract and then alert the client, in this case, the government of the Republic of Ghana, to the Ministry of Roads and Highways, that maybe due to XYZ, we are not receiving IPC number 123. We are just alerting you that we are reducing the workload. I mean, the gangs who are working for us by half. And then if they don't hear anything from the government after some time, another 1 or 2 months, then the contractor may have to suspend work. By which time I believe that government would have also advanced some money. So in most instances, most of the jobs that I've come across don't actually come to a total halt. Some few ones have done so. But the blunt or the specifics of the minority is what I'm actually trying to differ a bit. Some of them would have come to yeah.
Right. We'll get, this is a conversation that has just started. Definitely we'll hear more, especially as the majority says there is money to pay contractors. If that is the case, then we may not have to come back to this. And so we will continue this conversation. That's all time will allow us. Engineer Abdullahi Mahama is civil engineer, and now the chief of Bupe, Abdullahi Jenapo II, has with immediate effect annulled the appointment of Ibrahim Musabari as leader of the Fulani community in Monday, a suburb of Bupe in the central Gonja district of the Savannah region. The annulment follows protests by a section of the youth in and outside Bupe area after his appointment by the Bupe Wura to head Monday, a town in Mali believed to be the ancestral home of the modern-day Gonjas in Ghana. Following the protest, a committee was set up made up of members of the District Security Council and some youth leaders who presented their recommendations to the Bupewura earlier this week. They had recommended, among others, that the enskinment of Ibrahim Musabari be reversed to ensure peace in the area. And following that recommendation, the chief of Bupe, Abdullahi Jenapo II, subsequently annulled and reversed his earlier decision. A new chief of Monday, in a person of Abdullah Al-Hassan, was enskinned to head Monday. Bupewura Jenapo, who made the announcement during a news briefing at his palace in Bupe, also condemned the youth for going behind the committee and to vandalize people's properties in an attempt to halt the peace process. The paramount chief also used the occasion to appeal to all and sundry, especially chiefs, youth and residents at large, to exercise restraints in the face of all unprovoked aggressions so as to enhance peace and development in the area.
Based on the recommendation and roadmap from the committees established to ensure peace in Bupe, I, Bupewura Jenapo, wish to state unequivocally that the earlier appointment of Ibrahim Musabari as the Fulani leader in Monday is annulled and stands reversed. Meanwhile, a new Monday chief in the name of one Abdullah Al-Hassan has since been enskinned and has taken fully in charge of the Sabbath called Monday.
JoyNews today. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll be bringing you the very latest from the world of business.
Hello, good afternoon. Let's do business now with me, Beverly Broom. Bulk oil distribution companies are warning that fuel prices could soon return to the high levels experienced last year. That's if measures are not taken to quickly stabilize the cedi's depreciation. Here's George Yaffe's report.
The local currency is said to have depreciated by more than 5% already against the US dollar in the first 2 weeks of this month. This actually saw some of the bulk oil distribution companies review the payment terms for selling the product to the oil marketing companies and in some cases return to cash and carry. Some of the oil marketing companies have told Joy Business that they had to pay more in terms of cedis with the same quantity of petroleum products that they were buying last month. This resulted in prices going up by more than 1 Ghana cedi for a litre From January 16th this month, two of the major oil marketing companies, that is Total Energies and Gulf, have already adjusted their prices. The oil marketing companies have told Joy Business that the city's depreciation was a major reason for the increase in prices of petroleum products at the pumps from this Monday. This because prices of finished petroleum products have not witnessed any significant increase on the world market. The bulk oil distribution firms are worried that if the city's situation doesn't improve anytime soon, then we could be getting back to those high levels in December last year in terms of prices of petroleum products that might not be good for consumers.
Belchem Industries Limited, producers of Bell mineral water and beverages, has held the final draw of its Bell Chill and Win promo. The lucky winner was awarded a Kia Picanto car. Here's more in the following report.
Bell Beverages Ghana says its Chill and Win promo is aimed at giving back to its customers as well as appreciating its loyal distributors across the country. Magnus Day is marketing manager at Belchem Industries.
1 million people at least have participated in this draw when we started, and we've given over 50,000 prize items, which amounted to about $1 million Ghana cedi to Ghanaians. This has been the maiden one. We are looking forward to do second and third edition of Bell Chill and Win promo.
Winner of the Bell Chill and Win promo final draw, Inshra Frimpomadia, is a fresh student pursuing Doctor of Optometry at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. She won the draw in her final year at the Kumasi Wesley Girls Senior High School in the Ashanti region.
My father told me about it because I'm a fan of squeeze. I like it. So my father told me about it and I decided to do it. So then it got to a time every morning I send some to school. Every morning I use it as breakfast. I send some to school. So it was like I should place 20 in an envelope, then we go drop it in their hostel. I did some, and I was even in school. I was about to write Wasi when they came and was like, I'm the ultimate winner.
In the year 2023, Belchem Industries promises exciting products and offers.
In 2023, we have a lot of things in play. You also observe that we have Bell Pack Tissues. Bell Pack Tissues is the #1 paper tissue brand on the market. So going into 2023, there's a lot of big projects for the brand. Awesome stuff. Bell Aqua is launching new SKUs all the time, new premium drinks all the time. We have the Alka Plus, which has increased the alkaline level in the water. So there's a lot of big stuff coming from Bell Aqua. We never sleep.
For the entry requirement, customers must purchase Bell beverage products in order to enter the lottery. A minimum of 20 labels are removed and put in an envelope with names and phone numbers of the customer. The envelope can be delivered to any Bell beverage distributor and depots across the country. For Joy News, Mona Lisa Frimpong reporting.
More business on myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Beverly Broom. Next is sports.
Time now for sports on Joy News today with me, Muftao Nabila Abdullah. Head coach of the Black Galaxies, Anna Walker, says his boys are ready for a contest against Sudan in a do-or-die affair as they seek to qualify to the next phase of the ongoing Shan tournament in Algeria. Ghana suffered a 2-1 loss in the opening day to Madagascar, and they need a win to stand a chance of qualifying to the next phase of the competition.
They were not a better side than we do. Seriously, they were even afraid of us. From the way their coach spoke at the pre-match, I realized he is even afraid of us. But because we did not play the way we normally play, that caused us, and people saw they were better or they played better than we do. But if you correct. You can see from this second half, we were better off than them. Just that we could not take our chances and squandered the chances also that came on our way. So we were better than them. If you were to be here, you see the attitude and the reaction of my players. They were very down, not, but by losing the game, they are all down and they are worried and they did not understand why they should lose a match against no other team than Madagascar.
Let's talk some Ghana Premier League news now. And the chairman of the Ghana League Clubs Association, Kudjo Fiano, says all stakeholders must support the call to have spectators back to the stands to throw their weight behind their various clubs. In the past weekends, Ghana Premier League clubs have suffered no attendance syndrome as clubs continue to play barely in an empty stadia, and Kudjo Fiano wants all stakeholders on board to ensure that their supporters back to the various stands.
If we can pick a player and make him the local artisiki, or make a player the local kudus, give them that prominence, people will want to go and see them. You see, so it should be a concerted effort. We should all, if we want, this is a topic that this period cannot contain. I played in Pando, Ashgold. We played in Pando and beat Heart of Lions 2-0. Once we were driving out of the stadium, I first saw a gentleman who signaled our bus to stop. We stopped. They boarded the bus and they said, look, we are Kotoko supporters living in Pando. The mere fact that you've come from Obuasi to discipline this troublesome club for us, take this for transport, for refreshment. You can imagine if it were Kotoko. So the interest is there. Let us reach out to them. You are coming to Pando to play. Get your circle in Pando to be involved in the match organization. They will continue and come to the stadium. So that is key. This management and supporters leadership relationship, we need to work on it. If we work on it, the results are there for all of us to get.
That's your sports for now. We do have more sports stories on myjoyonline.com and also at 2 p.m. when my colleague Nathaniel Atto comes your way with sports today. Up next.
Good afternoon, welcome to Showbiz here on JoyNews today. Now, gospel musician Diana Hamilton has launched this year's edition of her annual Awake Experience with Diana Hamilton. The event was officially announced at the Mervyn Ambassador Hotel, Accra on Monday. The groundbreaking shows will take place in February in both Accra and Kumasi.
Every year, he always outdo himself. Yeah. He always does that. And so I can't say it's been lived because it keeps getting better and better. And at every stage, we are satisfied and we know that if yesterday was great, tomorrow is going to be greater. Yeah.
Now it has become a festival sort of both in Kumasi, Accra, and also in the UK. Yes. Is that the outlook for the future of Diana Hamilton experience?
Yes. Watch out for the Aquantupa experience in the US.
Oh, you're taking it to the US too? So it's going to be a 3-day.
And it's not just about only US alone. We are looking at other cities because there are more cities which are becoming the fans and the strong base of Diana. We are in the interest of expanding the ministry, and wherever the people are, that's what Diana is trying to do.
Diana, is that what you're trying to do, like you're saying, like just making sure that wherever your fan base is, you are going to take the experience there, or you're taking it there because you want to win souls for God?
We want to win souls for God. Thanks to online, everybody's having access to our songs and this ministry. Where our strength can take, where the will of God takes us, we take the bull by the horn and we run with it. And so we've done it in Ghana, 2 cities so far, done in the UK, London. Who knows? We're going to the US now, so we might go to Ghent, we might go to somewhere, Germany, anywhere.
Yes, what can I say? It's a joy, it's an honor, it's a privilege, you know, to always be called upon to minister with God, to God's people. For me, every opportunity to stand before God's people to minister, it's like God has counted me worthy of use. And so who am I? I would avail myself, position myself to receive, so that God will use me to bless the people who gather on the night. What can I say to you too? Don't stay at home. Experience with Diana Hamilton 2023 is unpredictable. Anything can happen to your life for the good and definitely for the better. So come all, come with your family, come everyone, and let's do a who.
I think my sister has said it all.
Your twin sister, you mean?
My twin sister, I mean. We have nothing special to offer. Everything that we are able to do on the day is inspired by the Holy Spirit. So we.
On that note, we end showbiz here on JoyNews today. My name is Becky.
And as we wrap up the bulletin this afternoon, my name is Aisha Ibrahim. Log on to myjoyonline.com. You get more of the news and developing stories. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.